And we're doing the packs for all the workers. I think we're doing around 1,500 meals for the whole day, between workers and bands as well.
Roughly how much beer have you got here?
Truckloads, probably 2 or 3 semi-loads.
There you go.
A lot of beer.
Australia's been really successful. It's great. We lucked out with the weather. I think everything's ticking over quite well now. We've got ourselves into the groove a bit, and here we are. This is a Monday, so it's like a national holiday here in Australia, and the place is completely sold out in Perth.
Always love playing Australia. The Soundwave festivals are fantastic. Backstage was really nice, and we had, with that guy turn up with the weird animals and seeing other bands, which it's nice to do gigs with other bands because we're normally kind of quite isolated. We do our shows, we've got our audience, which is great, but it's nice to get the energy. There's a different energy at those festivals.
Happy birthday, thank you very much.
Happy birthday to you.
Do this just for the camera, not too many more.
We're going to have a late load in, so it's going to be rush for us tomorrow. We just land straight for the gig, and then if the trucks are there, load it in straight away. We're looking at about 1 o'clock, I believe.
Come down.
The chain hook has come out the top of the piece. There's no way of lifting this up. We have to lift this up to dismantle it.
Robbie, put yourself in there, right? I'm going to send you up a rope.
There's no physical structure there. There's just the actual curtain side of the stage. And obviously working up there in the dark with no safety rails and stuff, they've got to stay clipped on to at least 2 points. If one of them guys falls, that's no rock and roll show's worth that. So yeah, literally is that classic story of safety first, mate, you know. Andy's just putting a rope across it now just so we can keep the weight of the tower. The danger is with the chain that's on it could swing about 20 foot across the stage, hits the lights, bring the lights down on everybody. So it's slowly catching monkey on this one, I'm afraid. Nobody got hurt, mate. Most important thing. Nothing else really matters today, Andy.
Yeah, serious pack up this time. We have to trim down back to our fighting weight of 12 tons. So that means our rolling set has to be packed into a sea container to go forth to England for the summer tour. And then there's the normal stuff that goes into the back of Ed Force One. So it'll be a little bit longer loadout and more breaking apart of things that normally we just throw right in the truck, use it the next day. My boys did an hour and 15-minute loadout the last show. It was really, really good.
That's good. Good night, Australia.
February the 9th, we started this part of the tour, and today we're in Adelaide. It's 6th of March, and so far it's 18,000 shots. I'm averaging about 1,000 pictures per show, and then you've got all the shots that come outside of that with the plane, with the load-ins and the hotels and things like that. But at the moment it's 18,000, and my job is to edit them down to the cream of the crop, and they're the ones that go out. And we're just about to take some nice portraits of the band in front of the plane, and you would think this sort of thing would be simple, but it isn't. It involves many people clearing runways and taxiways, getting special permission to park the plane here so we haven't got a load of clutter behind it. And also we're getting the wind moved so it's blowing in the other direction, so it'll be better for the pictures. If only that was true.
Robbie started working on this 4 months before the start of the tour, and you've got to look at everything from runway slots, traffic lights, which airports you can actually fly this type of aircraft into. Some of these airports are really difficult to land at the times Maiden require us into, so you have to do a lot of negotiations with airports and their marketing teams, and also work closely with the promoters.
I've been working on the catering side of things for the plane for about a month prior to us actually leaving Stansted, so we've had a thorough scout through all the menus that have been supplied by all the various catering companies, and hopefully come up with a really concise and varied menu for each of the flights that we take on Ed Force One.
So we always uplift water for the passengers, water for the crew, and just making sure they're getting that. The milks for our teas and coffees, any extras, orange juice.
And as you know, quite a lot of drinks are consumed on board this throughout the tour. We talk about all the logistics and transport and how we're going to put everything together and kind of ensure that all the vehicles are at the airport waiting for the band.
Working out the logistics of, once we get to the country, how we get into the venues, how we get into the hotels. And all of that is all planned in advance as well, which Steve Gadd does for me.
From the minute we land, you get away from the airport where there's up to 1,000 people there watching the plane coming in. Then you think you're out of Dodge, but you're not, because you get to the hotel and there's 400 or 500 people been camped out of the hotel for a couple of days. And, you know, so the band will always sign their autographs and stuff like that. So you get them in the rooms, and once you get the guys in the rooms, it's like, job done.
We then headed to Japan, which was a really exciting time for us. We were going to do 2 shows in Tokyo. Everyone was looking forward to the shows so much, and certainly from the advance point of view, everything had gone very smoothly, and everything was in place for the 2 Tokyo shows.
We were up in the air about 10 minutes away from landing at Tokyo when they had a massive earthquake.
We don't have any further details on the earthquake at the moment, simply that obviously it's fairly serious. The whole of the airports in the region are closed, and there is no determination as to when they will be able to accept aircraft. Air traffic control, as you can imagine, is under quite some stress at the moment. We have made the decision early to go to Nagoya when we can get on the ground and find out what the situation is, put some more petrol on the aeroplane, and then see how we can resolve the situation.
We've landed now in Nagoya. A lot of airplanes all diverting. It sounds very serious. It's an 8.8 magnitude quake. Just north of Narita.
We can't get hold of anyone in Tokyo. All the phone lines are down, I got through to a landline, but there was a recorded message in Japanese, which of course I don't understand.
If there's going to be a show, I think the sensible thing at the moment for us would probably be to leave the airplane here, truck the equipment in and out, if there's going to be a show. But by the sounds of it, that's sounding increasingly unlikely.
You know, the show must go on, but we really don't know what's happening at the moment. So it's a question of, do we stay here? The airports are still closed. Both airports are closed in Tokyo. So that means there's something relatively serious, and we'll figure out.
There's a rumour that there's a 20-metre tsunami. Now, how? We just don't know at the moment.
So here we are, you know, it's the morning after, we're still having shakes and quakes and stuff going on, aftershocks, but we're in Nagoya, you know, it's safe. We're about to get back on our buses. We're going to head back to the aeroplane now that we've got a game plan and a decision, and we're going to fly on to Mexico and via Hawaii.
Hello.
That morning, the first show was cancelled. It seemed fairly obvious as the news unfolded that the second show would be cancelled. In light of everything else, that's all pretty secondary. We just send our love and best wishes to all Japanese fans and Japanese people.
It's a digital desk. It's got capabilities of 120 inputs, 38